What if humans evolved like birds? An alternate history of an avian humanity. In this alternate timeline, humans evolved not from primates, but from an ancient lineage of feathered dinosaurs. This resulted in a world where humanity developed wings, hollow bones, sharp beaks, and keen eyesight, shaping civilization in ways vastly different from our own. Early evolution. The rise of the sky clans. Millions of years ago, our ancestors took to the trees, eventually developing large wingspans and lightweight skeletal structures to glide and, later, fly. Unlike in our world, the earliest societies were built high in the cliffs, trees, and mountain ranges, avoiding the dangers of land predators. Nest cities formed in massive interconnected canopies of ancient trees, using woven vines instead of stone walls. The first tools were crafted from talons, beaks, and fallen bones, favoring sharp implements suited for aerial hunting. Fire was discovered late. It was risky for tree-dwelling species, so avian humans relied more on solar energy, fermentation, and preserved foods. Ancient civilizations, the age of the feathered kings. Rather than settling in river valleys like Mesopotamia, the first major civilizations rose in windy, mountainous regions, where flight provided an advantage. The Sky Empire of Azura developed floating cities, using large woven nests, suspended bridges, and towers reaching into the clouds. The cliffside kingdoms of Zephyria carved massive roosting chambers into mountains, their temples dedicated to the sun and wind gods. Instead of writing on clay tablets, they recorded history through color-changing feathers and aerial dance rituals, passing down knowledge through intricate flight patterns. Metallurgy was challenging, as mining required land-based workers, often seen as groundlings, a lower caste in avian society. Flight-based warfare became a dominant strategy, with warriors using long spears and talon strikes from the sky. The age of flight and conflict. As societies grew, so did the war between flight-based and land-based factions. Nations with strong flyers dominated trade, carrying messages and resources across vast distances in a fraction of the time. Instead of chariots or horses, avian soldiers relied on dive-bombing aerial assaults, perfecting strategies of airborne ambushes and gliding troop movements. Land-based civilizations, unable to match the speed of flight, created massive crossbow weapons designed to shoot aerial warriors from the sky. Naval warfare was rare, as most civilizations saw the land and sea as beneath them, unworthy of conquest. The Industrial Revolution. The fall of flight. Technology took an alternative route, with vertical cities and wind harnessing energy instead of steam-based factories. Rather than steam trains, wind-powered gliders and massive sky barges transported goods. Cities, suspended in the air, thrived on updrafts and thermal currents to maintain their structures. Flight-enhancing gear, mechanical wing extenders, artificial feather suits became widespread, allowing even weaker flyers to soar. But this also marked the beginning of the ground renaissance, as land-based groups, once seen as primitive, began inventing automated launch systems, anti-air defenses, and ground-based artillery, challenging the dominance of the sky empires. The modern world, a skyward society. In the present day, civilization looks completely different. Instead of cars, people travel in personal gliders, flight suits, and wind-powered exoskeletons. Skyscrapers don't just reach up, they act as floating hubs, interconnected by air bridges. Sports involve aerial acrobatics, with entire arenas built for mid-air racing, talon dueling, and sky ballet. Language is partly visual, incorporating feather color shifts and wing gestures into everyday communication. Fashion favors feathers and lightweight materials, with armored flight suits for protection. Conclusion: would this world be better? A bird-human civilization might have avoided cars, fossil fuels, and environmental destruction, relying on natural wind currents and solar energy instead. However, their societies would be heavily stratified, with strong flyers dominating weaker ones and ground dwellers seen as inferior. Would such a world be freer, or would power still be centralized in the hands or talons of the elite?